I will be speaking about how to integrate the SQLite add-on together with Godot. So let's get started. On the first one, you actually want to go select from the asset library the Godot SQLite add-on. Once you download it, you also want to create a new folder. The folder, call it a data store. That way you will maintain all of the data structure there coming from the SQL database. After you do that, the next step is to go on the website and download it over here. So once you have downloaded it, okay, let me actually, oh yeah, once you have it, you go to the application folders, you go to DB browser for SQLite, and here you open up a new database. So you select the folder where you want to put all of the information. In this case, data store inside your Godot project. It's gonna be the one that you're gonna be using. So after you do that, here's how you a sample of how you can create a new table. So you're always gonna be starting here database structure. So you create a table. So for example, let's call it, okay, let me actually remove supermarket from here. Create a new table, it's called supermarket. And then let's add first field ID, because the ID is also actually very helpful to keep in mind every time. That's actually a good way to keep things together with an ID. So you're gonna keep all of these fields. You're gonna add the next one, which is gonna be an item name, and then you're gonna put the third field is gonna be a color. Okay, item name. Okay, so item name is not gonna be null, and the color is always gonna be a text. So this is gonna be a text, and with text, and then you press OK, and that way you created satisfactorily your first table on the SQLite database. Now, how to implement information inside this database? You have to go to your little table. Within your table, you can add your fields here. So those are columns, and these ones are called rows. So always is good to keep in mind that this is gonna be starting from 0. That way I always think about list, because list starts with 0 as well. So the item name is gonna be an orange, the bread, and the meat. Color, the color, let's see, orange. The bread is gonna be brown, and the meat is gonna be red. So that way you already created your first table structure from SQLite. So now we're not gonna be using this one. Actually, we're gonna use the item data on this project. Also, I want to say that I will be linking Archivis tutorial inventory system together with the Find Point CGI tutorial for SQLite, and he explained a lot better how to actually implement SQLite if you're gonna go step by step. As I said, I will just do a flash tutorial. I will explain as much as I can, and I will do it really fast. Okay, next one is you create a new node. On this node, you call in this element that's coming from that add-on that you downloaded from SQLite. Then you call a DB name. The DB name is gonna be the data base that you create. In this case, mine is inside data store here, and it's called data basics. And then you're gonna call a DB, a variable. All right, then you actually will create your first function here, stacker. So stacker will create a new SQLite. It will have a DB path, and then you want to open the database. So the table name, it's called item data, but let's forget about this one first. So we're gonna call a query here from the database. The query means that we're gonna call or we're gonna request from the database information, a specific information. In this case, we're selecting the stack size from item data, where ID equals an ID number. Remember that stack size is something that I have on my database, on my item data table. So as you see, we got ID here that is in front of everything, incrementing one by one. Then we have the item stack size, which is this, and we have the item names. So we're calling the stack size, we're calling this column, we're calling from the table item data, and we're calling the ID. So the ID is gonna be plus an ID that we're gonna assign that is not assigned yet. Now for everything, for each one of the query result size, for each one of the stack size, we're gonna print ID Callisto. That's gonna be the ID. And then we're gonna print the result for each of them and the stack size. That's gonna be just the number. For example, on this one will be 999. On this one will be 1. And then the result. The result's gonna be the name of the column with the number. And then we're gonna print what comes after. And then we're gonna return this value, because that value, the stack size value, is what is important in this case for me, which is gonna be like number 1 or 999, depending on what I have on the stack size. And let's run that. Okay, let's call it here. So we're calling the 2. Let's see. So the 2 is actually the brown shirt. It's 1. Let's call this line position, which is 0. So the 0. There we go. Let's see the prints. So we got the ID 0, and then the stack size is 999, and then we're actually printing everything which is defined by the ID, which is all of it. The name of the column together with the numbers, and then yes, so we're returning that value, which is just the numbers 9999. Okay, actually hope you like this. Subscribe, comment. Yeah, actually hope you like it. It's actually my first tutorial ever, and this is actually my first application. It's called Dungeon Killer. I actually use resources from Super Dungeon Delve and also from Game Endeavors. Yeah, I'm actually learning to code, and yeah, this is my first application. I hope you download it if you want. If you actually have Windows, you have to download both folders, both items, I mean. And then if you have Linux, you have to download both as well. For Mac users, it's just only this file. That's it. Well, I hope you like it. Enjoy, and thank you so much.